Ever since my mom died, my dad throws a New Year's party inviting the entire neighborhood to celebrate the new year. I always knew the real reason he threw a party was to honor my mom, since that's all she wanted to do while she was alive, and he was just honoring her wishes. My mom died 3 years before this particular year on Christmas Eve and was planning to throw one on New Year's Eve. He never told anyone that though, and some people in the neighborhood disliked him for only throwing parties since her passing. Some believed it was a celebration of her death, since my dad didn't even hold a funeral for my mother. It was really hard on him, and me being the only child, I had to support him in every decision since he had no one else. For later context, my dad made a room dedicated to her and would let people bring her flowers since she was cremated. The entire room was decorated for her with everything we owned. Party would consist of games, talking, and everyone bringing a dish of their choice to the party. While the ones that were upset at the party concept wouldn't come, everyone came this year. It was the best party yet, and the street was full of everyone dancing, kids running around playing, and everyone waiting for the new year to come in. 5 minutes before midnight, I wanted to call my girlfriend who lived in a different country to tell her it was a new year for me. Since it was a long-distance relationship, the only way we could talk was through video chat on my computer. Once I got inside and went into my bedroom, I could hear footsteps through the hallway. Only my room, bathroom, and my mom's memorial room were upstairs, so there would be no reason for anyone to be upstairs but me. I yelled for my dad to see if he followed me, but there was no answer. I thought it was nothing and someone just wanted to look in my mom's room until I heard things moving and glass breaking. I grew with so much fear to the point that I hid in my closet, not knowing what to do. The noises of things being destroyed went on for what felt like forever. I could hear everyone outside counting down from 10 into the new year, and the sound stopped. I decided to make a run for it, since to go down the steps you would have to pass my mom's room and the bathroom. I ran up to the end of the hallway and got tackled onto the floor. From my point of view, I could see my mother's memorial room completely ruined. It looked like it had been ransacked and her ashes were all over the floor. The man who tackled me put a knife to my face and told me how horrible of a person my dad is to not care about my mom, so he destroyed the room since no one cared for her anyway. He was wearing all black with a ski mask, so I couldn't see his face. He then moved the knife to my throat and threatened to kill me since I didn't care for, in his words, the woman that brought me into this world. I thought this was the last time I was going to live until I heard my dad come into the house asking for me to come back outside. I screamed for help and the man ran into my bedroom and slammed the door. My dad came running up the stairs, asking me what was wrong, and I pointed to my bedroom. My dad ran into my room and told me no one was there. My window was open and the knife that was used towards me was on my window frame. When the police were called, they couldn't find a trace of that man. To this day I will never know who that person was and why they were so angry about a situation they had no idea about. My dad stopped hosting New Year's parties and was distraught after losing everything that reminded him of my mom.
Living in New York can have its flaws and its perks. One of them is going to the Times Square ball drop on New Year's Eve, being around a huge crowd waiting for the new year to come in, and kissing someone you love or a stranger. Being a woman, I never wanted to kiss a stranger because I never knew if it would be some creep. I've always gone with my friends so we could protect each other from having to deal with that. But that year my friends all had boyfriends and wanted to spend the New Year's Eve ball drop at their homes together. Not wanting to invade or be a third wheel, I decided to go to the drop by myself. My friends even suggested that I kiss someone once it's the new year, since that's how one of my friends got into a relationship. They told me to live a little and I agreed. That night I went to Times Square myself and stood next to this guy who didn't have anyone to bring either. We talked for a while and explained to each other why we were there by ourselves. He was alone because he and his girlfriend had just broken up but planned to go to the drop together. Once the clock struck 12 and it was the new year, I asked him if he minded if we shared a New Year's kiss. He didn't and we kissed. He asked for my number and I gave it to him, and we also told each other the areas we lived in. Now looking back, that was a huge mistake. He asked if I wanted to go somewhere after, but I declined and told him I had plans the following morning even though I didn't. My heart sank when he said no I didn't and that I usually don't have anything to do on Sundays or Mondays. I was frozen with fear as he told me when I would normally leave my house and my work schedule. The only thing I could do was run. I ran away from him as fast as possible and drove to one of my friend's houses. When I got there I told her everything and she allowed me to stay over there for tonight, knowing that he knew where I lived. My friend and I laid in her bed while her boyfriend took the couch in the living room. We stayed up all night wondering how he knew me and how long he had been stalking me when we heard a loud noise coming from the bathroom that was in the bedroom we were in. Before we could leave the room, the bathroom door opened and it was him. The guy from the ball drop was holding what looked like a butcher knife. He ran in front of the bedroom door and told me he wasn't finished talking to me. I don't even know how this man found me. Sure, he could know where I live, but to know where my friend lives was horrifying. Luckily, my friend's boyfriend heard and busted through the door, holding him down until the police arrived. When they did, I told him he had been stalking me. He told the officers he planned to kill me that night because he knew I wouldn't have agreed to be with him. I've never been to a ball drop since.